So I want to address, when it comes to computers, the type of light, the light emitting diodes. Before that, in order to have light or fire, we needed heat, friction, the friction of sticks to create that spark. It needed that fuel. Or even the friction of storm clouds rubbing together, releasing that electricity. Now we have diodes, which is a semiconductor, so I guess that's made out of silicon. Maybe a product of the 20th century. But it has the properties of either conducting electricity or inhibiting it. I'm an amateur student of everything I'm interested in, so I couldn't get any more sophisticated than that. But somehow it doesn't use gas, like light bulbs use gas, or fires turn into gas. It's purely, I guess the term would be electronic. Supposedly there's this p-n junction, and the flow of electrons have to jump through this little space and reacts with the material, the silicon, and emits photons. We have these LED lights that seem to be energy efficient. However, we've had LEDs for a very long time. It's just now somebody thought of a great idea. Well, we'll make it so it fits in a regular bulb socket, incandescent lights. Yeah, I just want to address what it's called planned obsolescence. Because we had the incandescent lights for so long and used a lot of energy. Then somebody came up with halogen lights. So I think halogen might be a man-made element. Anyway, it was supposed to be more energy efficient. That's all I know about them. Halogen, I guess, being the filament, and then an incandescent light bulb, it would be tungsten. And then it interacts with the gas. I think it's commonly argon. Then after that, we had these fluorescent light bulbs, which we've had for a very long time, long fluorescent light bulbs we've had for decades. And then somebody decided we'll put an end to it so it fits in a regular lamp socket. And they were pretty expensive. And even though they were energy efficient, they were toxic too. To break them and dispose of them. Now, I don't know how toxic LEDs are, but these seem to be a lot cheaper. And I imagine all light sources will probably go to that. Unless you want to have like some sort of tribal experience in the campfire, which is, man, when I think about how we learn to create fire, how did we steal it? Like, did we see a burning bush and we need to get some of that? And just to know all the time it took humanity from that point to where we are now, it just, man, I'm so out of shape because I don't have the rub sticks together. No, I'm kidding, but it is amazing to me. And when it comes to progress of humanity, well, there's this belief, and, I tend to think this way, that most people are inherently good, or they don't really want to harm somebody, but they might be manipulated into. And maybe that's manipulation is what's holding us back from progressing. Maybe we're at this point where we're still trying to see if we can overcome that. But, I have a lot of hope because we haven't all died yet. I mean, I grew up in the Cold War, and almost every night you'd hear, the fear-mongering of the Soviets, the evil empire. But I think there's this idea called the Nash equilibrium. Now, anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. I encourage that. Sometimes I misrepresent ideas. But in this idea, when it comes to the buildup of arms, you kind of want to keep yourself in check, keep the other person in check, because really nobody wants to destroy the entire earth. We want to have something to rule over. Now that, I guess, the fall of the Soviet Union, there's still this threat, or manufactured threat, maybe I should say, of other countries who don't have the military might of America, but, maybe they would like to have some nukes or develop that. And I don't agree with the idea that the U.S. kind of acts like the world's police, which may seem unpatriotic. To me, there's a little bit of imbalance in that if we're going to prevent other countries from developing technology that they want to, that we have. And in my opinion, that's, let's say, if we were the most powerful or the light, the one with the most technology, we would be keeping those who don't have as much, the darkness, down, trying to suppress the darkness.